Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cox Connections. Brad Grundmeyer, Director of Public Government Affairs for Cox, Louisiana. Thank you so much for tuning into our program. On this segment, we're going to be talking to our friends at the Algiers Economic Development Foundation, or the AEDF, a great organization there on the West Bank, fellow Algerine myself, and some great work that they're doing. Happy to be joined by their president, Chris Kane, as well as President-elect Juan Hernandez. Thank you, gentlemen, both for coming by today.
Thank you for having us.
How's Algiers doing?
It's a beautiful place.
I love it. Very much so. And it's fantastic you guys are here. You know, we do try to do our part on the program to highlight associations and businesses, but you guys, chambers, etc. But I know, obviously, both of you are very passionate about Algiers. It's we would really, if we could, we'd annex from and leave the city. No, I'm just joking. But I mean, it's a great place, yeah. And it's been you know, even after Katrina has shown why people love it, because people continue to stay and enjoyed and probably never even went across to the West Bank and seen what all that Algiers has to offer. So thank you both for what you're doing, and more so for the actual foundation. It's doing great work. For how long, Chris? How long has it been in activity?
This is actually our 20th year, so we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. Juan's actually one of our founding members, and yeah, he's been around the whole time.
To that point, Juan, what was the intention? Why was the need back in those days, the founding days?
Well, you know, at that time, we were trying to figure out how to focus attention on the economic development opportunities in Algiers, and there had not been a group at that point that really kind of came together specifically to drive economic development. So there were some elected officials at the time who thought 1991 was the right year to do that, and the organization was formed.
Well, so it's been 20 years now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Chris, when did you get engaged?
I got engaged post-Katrina. I started my tenure with AEDF in 2005, and have been the president now. This is going to be my third year serving as the president, so that's my term. And really, you know, AEDF, while we're a microeconomic development foundation, when you look at Algiers, there's $1 billion of current and planned economic development projects. Everybody's heard of Federal City, but to really put the numbers to it, it's one of the few projects in the country that came in under budget and on schedule. It's 2,000 jobs that are starting now. Potential for up to 10,000 jobs, 34,000 square feet of new retail space.
And quite a transformation, I must say. It's amazing.
Significantly. The whole project itself is a transformation, but if you have an opportunity or haven't seen what has been built there, it is an unbelievable facility, and we're really excited to have the Marine Corps headquarters reserves in Algiers.
Chris, tell me a little bit about, you know, I'm a little shameless to admit, that it's a fantastic area to live in, but for those who maybe hadn't had a chance for whatever reason to understand and experience Algiers, give us a little bit of a taste for that. One of the oldest actually areas in the city, correct?
Correct. It's 1 year younger than the city of New Orleans. So it was founded, you know, temporal to the same time the city was founded. You know, Algiers, the pillars of what you look for in a good community: education. We've got an excellent education, very diverse group of both secondary education, such as our high schools, Algiers Charter School Association, the Orleans Parish School Board has several schools. We've got Catholic private schools. We've got a college. We've got Delgado is in Algiers. So we've got a very diverse group of education components. You know, when you talk about jobs, again, you've got the river. We've got several river component entities. We've got Federal City. We've got an excellent development in Lakewood, which is a planned $250 million project. And so when you look at the corridor as a whole, it's a very diverse group of 50,000 citizens that live within the Algiers footprint. And
a lot of quality of life, Juan, as well in the community. Obviously, you know, the great parks that are there, a little bit of a transformation, if I recall, Brechtel getting a little of that, but just great neighborhoods, to your point, leisure, golf, everything, even on, you know, we don't think sometimes English Turn on the other side, a great area, you know, that is located on the other side of the industrial canal. What would 50,000 plus residents, still a lot to offer.
Yes. Quality of life in Algiers, I think, is unparalleled to most of the other communities kind of in our
kind of can never leave, really. You could.
You know, you'll find that most people who are in Algiers now are people who have been Algerians most of their lives. Their families have been in Algiers.
Great history.
Very stable community.
Yep.
You know, we used to refer to it as a bedroom community, but I believe our bedroom doors have opened now.
Yes.
And you're finding a lot more people moving their way into Algiers. I think the quality of life is probably pretty unparalleled around town.
And it's fantastic. And a lot of improvements going on there currently, obviously with drainage, and so a lot happening along General de Gaulle, the main corridor, if you will, of Algiers.
Correct. There's $22 million in current infrastructure right off the foot of the bridge on General de Gaulle. Immediately to the left is the Berman Soccer Complex and the football refurbished field program, which AEDF is excited that we receive a $200,000 grant in connection with the Saints and the NFL, partnering with the city of New Orleans.
Berman Field up in that area.
Correct. So that program in and of itself is going to help 110 schools play football this season at Berman. So we're going to bring that back. It's a huge win for our
Carver,
community.
obviously one of the schools totally rebuilt, top to bottom.
Yeah, LB Landry.
Landry, excuse
Landry.
me, did I say Carver? Top to bottom. I mean, a fantastic facility, you know, and obviously a rich culture and history that is found at the Point. You got Mardi Gras World and all that's happening along the riverfront. It seems, you know, again, coming from there, a lot of mom and pops, a lot of small business that really makes up the fabric of what Algiers is.
Correct. According to the city, there's over 850 registered small businesses in Algiers.
Is there?
That's, you know, that's, if you think about it, that's a significant amount. That's I believe almost a tenth or a 12th of what the city has to offer in small businesses. So it's a significant small business community.
Well, we've got some exciting things happening currently. Well, let me back before I even get to that. If someone is interested, do they have to be a business owner, or maybe is it just someone who lives and maybe works as well in Algiers to be involved? And how do they get involved with ADF?
The easiest way is to go to algierseconomic.com, and you don't have to own a business in Algiers.
Okay.
You can be a resident, a business owner, an interested citizen. We're very open policy to those who want to better Algiers for our organizations. That's how to get involved.
All right, and we'll give that web address later on in this segment. You guys have some great activities as the weather is out there and people enjoying the summer. Some great success about the midway point, right there at the Point.
Correct. Wednesdays on the Point is in the middle. We're in the middle of our season right now. It's an excellent opportunity to come out, see Algiers Point. You can take the ferry over. It's right next to the ferry landing. You can also park. There's plenty of parking available. The series runs from 6 till 9 every Wednesday evening. We are able to make the program affordable by make it free, excuse me, by having serving beverages and food. So we ask folks to support us in that measure. And it's a great program. To date, the Wednesdays on the Point series has had about a $350,000 direct economic impact to the Algiers Point small business communities. That's big for that community.
And who have you had so far? I mean, as far as entertainment is concerned, so far?
So far, we had the last series we had Bonorama, which was Bonorama.
Yeah, they're great.
They're great. In fact, they used to play at the Old Point, and that was their home place. So it was enjoyable to have them back at the Point. They played with the fireworks behind them for the 4th of July. We changed the date up and did it on the 4th of July. It was a great event. And we've got coming up in the series coming up. We've got I'm drawing a blank. The Pinettes and the Wild Magnolias, which have not played together since pre-Katrina. It's a really
And they're a great brass band. So that both of them.
Correct.
So that would be fantastic.
It's going to be a very exciting event. And then we also have Irvin Mayfield playing with the Purple Disrespect, and Amanda Shaw will
close it out.
Will close it out. So we got an excellent upcoming series.
And this is the first or second incarnation of the Wednesdays at the Park, at the Point.
This is the second year that AEDF has been the presenting entity. We've done it actually for 4 years. It started off very uniquely. It started off as the small business owners of Algiers Point trying to get 30 to 40 people to come in front of or in their business. Now you go out there and it's 1,500 folks who
and
are coming
parking
out.
is easy. I mean, it's right there, a walk, and then you're hearing music the minute you walk outside your car. So it's great, everybody, and great to check out. And again, you can go to the website for more information. As a matter of fact, the website is WednesdaysOnThePoint.com, correct?
Correct.
WednesdaysOnThePoint.com. Also, the AEDF, obviously celebrating 20 years, is coming up with their AEDF annual business luncheon on Wednesday, July 13th, right? That's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
That's correct, yes. And in essence, we're celebrating the 20 years of our existence, all of our past leadership and presidents, folks like our founding members like Dwan, and celebrating again, over the $1 billion of economic development going on in Algiers.
And that's going to be taking place at English Turn Golf and Country Club, obviously at English Turn, and that will be at 11 a.m. The networking begins, and the program starts, what, 12 o'clock?
About 11:45 is when we'll sit down for lunch. We'll get started around 12 o'clock.
Any tables or seats still available?
We're actually all sold out, but there may be a few individual spots left.
So go on the website, engage with you guys, and if there's availability, that'll be fantastic.
Yes.
Exactly.
For you, I guess, you know, DeJuan, 20 years, it must be very humbling for you to see how it has progressed and how engaged ADF has been on the benefit and for the purpose of supporting Algiers.
You know, ADF has been lucky. It's had good leadership over the 20 years, and I got to say, Chris has done an awesome job in the last 3 years of leading the organization. And so with the accomplishments that you've seen ADF carry through over the last years, I think Algiers has been the big benefactor, ultimately. The businesses, particularly with the Wednesday of the Point series, I mean, you should have seen the 4th of July event that was thrown.
Awesome.
I mean, my family and I were there, and there were as many people on the West Bank watching that as there may have been on the East Bank, and it was a lot easier to watch from there. So, you know, the organization has grown, it's matured, and Algiers, as a result, is seeing a lot of economic development.
Well, thanks to you guys for that. Real quick, 30 seconds. What do you see, Chris, as far as issues, obviously, that are on your radar screen the next year, 5 years?
I think the biggest issue is coming up with an infrastructural plan that can support this economic development. We can talk about economic development all we want,
sure,
but without a clean infrastructure plan that can be paid for and understanding how that works, it's not going to be sustainable.
Well, again, you guys do fantastic work. I'm proud to have you here today. Again, from Algiers, myself, to say thank you on behalf of the community there, who has businessmen as yourself, as well as women, and those who support the ADF to make a difference. Greatly appreciated. Continued success to both of you in the organization.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by. Thanks, Chris. Juan as well.
Appreciate
All to see you guys. All right, everybody, that wraps up this segment of Cox Connections. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.